finish it out for me.
What's up, brother?
All right, baby.
Hey there.
Everything good with you?
Yes, sir. We're live on Facebook.
You live?
I know you were coming in this morning.
No, I'm just gonna be here for a minute. I gotta leave. I gotta be something. I'm gonna let you handle
Man of the hour is here, by the way.
it. Nah, this his show.
Mr. Napoleon Edwards.
This his show today.
Edwards squared. Napoleon, are you a Leo?
Sagittarius.
Really, I'd have paid you for a Leo.
Hey, who did them graphics for you?
Man, you ever heard of that app, Fiverr? It's Fiverr.
Oh, it's an app?
And you just go in there and pick an artist you like. They got all their designs. I paid $20 for that thing.
Give it to me. Give me that information. Send it to
I
me.
will. It's crazy.
Send me
I love supporting local, but that's just too easy. They give you all the vector files and everything you need.
Oh, yeah. I need to get that.
Yeah. Y'all guys get on in the room. We're going we'll be live on the radio here in just a second.
Good morning. WPBQ Radio Land 94.3 on the FM dial, 1240 on the AM dial. It is 7:30. And you just tuned in to the most thought-provoking show on the web. Got my main man, Clay Edwards, back in the building again with me this morning. Hey, people, it's that kind of day, man. We talk Jackson. Tune in, lock it in, stay in. Hey, man, it is that time of the day, y'all. It's Wednesday, hump day in the capital city. Call-in lines open, 601-944-0112. That's 601-944-0112, man. I feel like the fly jock this morning, Clay. I got to be here. I got to be there. I got to be everywhere this morning. How you doing this morning, bro?
Man, good morning, Jackson, Mississippi. I'm doing great. I'm glad to be here. I survived the NASCAR drive from Elton Road to here on 55. If you ain't going 90, you're getting run over. It's wild out there in these Jackson streets.
It's wild out there this morning. Listen, y'all, I'm going to break early today because I got to get out of here and be somewhere else. Clay, we go get started, and Clay's gonna finish out the show. Pretty much this is his show today. I gave this seat up to him. So Clay, listen, man, you take off. I'm just here, bro.
I got you. So I thought about it this morning. I was like, man, what am I gonna talk about? What I thought I would talk about is, maybe steer away a little bit from what you normally do, and let's talk about the lack of entertainment in Jackson, Mississippi.
Wow, good subject, bro.
And let's just pretend for a second. Well, I guess we can't really do that. Let's just pretend there was concerts and everything was coming back tomorrow. Are you ready to go to a concert? Given the COVID and the coronavirus stuff, if they said, man, there's whoever your favorite artist is going to be at the Coliseum tomorrow, would you go? Or are you ready? I'm ready, but I know that I respectfully, I know I don't speak for everybody, and your family situation and your health situation, everybody's is different, but I'm just curious, would you go? The first concert in America since all this started was last night or night before last in Arkansas, and it was Travis McCready. Made worldwide news. Kid from Natchez, Mississippi.
Natchez, home raised.
Yep, played in a band called Bishop Gunn. They broke up, and some other, I guess he's got a solo career now, but a kid from Mississippi made global news as the first artist to have a concert with fans in attendance.
Wow.
And they had to only sell about a third of the venue. They had what they call fan pods, so, but not weren't actually on a pod, but they sold. You had about a minimum of 4 tickets, and the people you came with, you had to sit with.
Right.
And financially, it's not going to be feasible. The concert industry is going to have to figure something out. But I just kind of wanted to fast forward and pretend that it had. And would you go to a concert if you could right now? If JSU, Grambling, Southern, any of them were playing at the the stadium today, would you go to a game?
Well, Clay, I can tell you. I'm there. I mean, it's crazy that you brought this up because I had this conversation yesterday with my boss, and he's not ready to go back to the gym. But I have a private gym that I go to, and I got a couple of texts this morning from one of my trainer friends. She's like, the gym is open. I'm like, I ain't never stopped going to the gym. Now the first couple of, I'm going to say, Clay, the first 4 weeks, I was locked in place.
Yeah,
I did. I anchored down. I advocated for people to stay in, to try to get a curb on this thing, and to try to slow it down. And I even went and got tested, Clay. I had a headache, and man, my family freaked out. I caught a headache, and I never get headaches. And the headache went about 2-3 days, And you gotta go get tested. You gotta go get tested. Locked me in the room, wouldn't let me out, all that till I got tested. So I go get tested. I waited 5 days, Clay, for my results to come back. So after that, I just began to think, and I'm like, okay, let me do some research. Do the numbers warrant a total shutdown of the economy?
Well, it's like yesterday, I think it was 200, I may be a little off here. I'm sure somebody will correct me, but I think it was 223 new cases and 23 deaths.
Right.
But those numbers run about 2 weeks behind.
Exactly.
And we're, I believe, per capita leading the country in test right now.
Right.
So obviously, if you're testing tenfold more than you were 30 days ago, the numbers are going to be higher.
Exactly.
Exactly. Because I believe this thing ran through here like a tornado through a trailer park, really starting back in January.
Exactly.
I know I went to the doctor, had what everything felt like the flu for about 48 hours. It wasn't strep, wasn't the flu. They said it was a viral infection. Well, they didn't know what this was then.
Didn't know what it was.
I'd bet $100 right now if I took an antibody test to see if it had been in me at any point.
Right.
I bet.
At some time you had some trace.
Bet you probably had it too.
Yeah.
If you got sick. But our lovely ladies on the other side of the glass, if they got sick sometime over the winter, they may have very well had it.
And Clay, you're so right, because there were so many people saying that back in what I guess was November, December, they had some type of colds and flus that just didn't seem to be normal.
Yeah. And, mine was back over the flood weekend.
Yeah, and nobody could explain it, right? And so, hey man, I mean, I'm back to my regular routines. I think the only time I had a mask on in the last 2 weeks is when I go to Costco, because they make you put one on.
Yeah,
But I mean, you're in good shape, Clay. I mean, you're in good shape. I work out every day. I mean, a lot of it has to do with health. I'm just going to believe. And I'm not the CDC. You're not the CDC. We definitely don't want anybody on the air to think that we're, trying to advocate for you to, do anything. But what I'm saying is this, Clay. Are we going to sit here and just lose businesses, allow businesses to go out of business, families become dependent upon government to eat and to survive? I mean, what happens?
There's a joke on social media when somebody gets hurt or passes away when they're doing something stupid, and we're like, natural selection. That was natural selection.
Right.
Well, natural selection is a real thing. Evolution is. And, we're not all guaranteed the right as Americans to survive natural selection. When it's your time, it's your time. And sometimes you got to look at it like that too.
I like that. I like that.
Would you rather be here or in heaven? I'd rather be in heaven. If it's my time, I'm ready to walk down the golden walkway there through the pearly gates.
Right.
But I also don't want to rush it, because
right.
I love my life. I love my wife. I love my daughters.
Right. Right.
My family. So I'm having a good time here on earth. But from my understanding is, once you get up there, if that's your beliefs, it's a great time.
Yeah.
But so I just got to thinking, if there was a big concert, would you go? If there was a big football game, if the nightclubs were open, and I know a couple of them are, but I'm not going to put them on blast because they're friends of mine. They may be open later than the curfew. But sometimes I can help promote stuff and get people in trouble. So I'm gonna skirt around that one. Another thing I was going to talk about this morning, and I can drop the bomb here and let it carry on through the show, is, why does Jackson, Mississippi not have a concert venue? And the Coliseum does not belong to Jackson. That is ran by the state.
Wow.
So anytime you see, like, they're building the convention, they're building the new trademark center down there, everybody's like, well, why would Jackson build another, the trademark when they got the convention center? Well, they're not owned by the same people. They're in competition with each other. Right. Jackson as a municipality does not own a traditional concert venue. When I say that, I mean a Coliseum, an amphitheater, that type of thing.
Well, they missed out on the amphitheater. You do know that they had a shot at the amphitheater.
Yeah, they had that. They had a shot at the Braves are supposed to be in Jackson.
Wow.
right downtown. When I had 105 down on Capitol Street, the club.
Yeah.
That was the big thing. They was going to put it right over there in the general vicinity of Fair Street, and that was going to anchor that whole project. And clearly that didn't happen, and it went to Pearl. But it may have been the best thing too, because I know Pearl was having a world of headache paying for that thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But it can be used as a multi-purpose
complex.
Multi-purpose complex.
Yeah.
Heck, turn Smith Wheels into an amphitheater. I'm guessing there's probably some parking issues involved.
I mean, we're not doing anything with it.
I know a few little things. JSU's playing there. They're moving the SWAC tournament there, but you can still do that. It can be a multi-purpose venue.
Right.
And we don't have anywhere to go. You got to go to Brandon, and all they booking is country music and classic rock. And look, God bless it, but I have a wide palette of taste when it comes to music.
Music, correct.
I grew up on Master P in the 90s. And
Bowdy.
Motley Crue in the 80s and Master P in the 90s.
Yeah, me too. Van Halen in the 80s, Master P in the 90s. I mean, come on, it don't stop.
Tupac. I mean, we can go on and on and on.
On and on, right. Hey, the call-in lines are open this morning, y'all. 601-944-0112. You got Clay Edwards, Saving Jackson in the building, along with the Cyber Voice Man, locked into WPBQ 94.3 on the FM dial, 1240 on the AM dial. Clay, it's all yours, bro.
So I appreciate you, brother. Go do your thing, and
I see you.
Appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm going to pull it over here to my Facebook page a little bit, get a little bit of input from the folks. Y'all talk to me. Would you guys go to a concert, a football game, or any kind of big public gathering? No social distancing, none of that. Are you ready? I am. I am ready. I know, again, a local guy from Natchez, Travis McCready, had a concert in Arkansas 2 nights ago in a 1,000-seat venue, but they were only able to sell about 250 tickets with social distancing and everything. Apparently nobody got sick, but apparently promoters and venue owners cannot make a profit doing that. They can't pay bands enough. Bands can't rent buses, pay their crew, pay their bands. So, let's see, Ricky says no, we wouldn't. And I think it's going to be all over the place. And I don't know who's right, who's wrong, but I think we should have the ability to make the judgment of going ourselves. If you don't want to go, don't go. But if everybody else wants to go and they're ready to, quote unquote, risk it all, let us. I'm not going to risk it all for a band I don't like or to have to see Ole Miss play, Hell State. So let's see. Back to Jackson not having a venue. Let's see. I believe that tourism entertainment issues for Jackson is deeper than just the city of Jackson alone. Yeah, the state's got to step in. It is the capital city. The state of Mississippi owns more property than anybody in the area, and of course they pay no property tax. So that's a whole nother conversation for another day. Same for a lot of our churches that we brought up on our last show. They own a ton of property around here. They're not paying property taxes on it. They're not paying sales tax, obviously, because they don't sell anything, but they're not paying taxes. And a lot of them are not taking care of their property. And that is causing a lot of blight in Jackson. And, it's sad. It's sad. I grew up here. I love this place. But it doesn't pass the eyeball test when I hear the mayor telling me that Jackson's getting better. Jackson's getting better. Well, a couple paved streets and a new business and a better credit rating for the city does not mean that the core isn't still rotten. So we got to figure out how to get people here. Entertainment is the hub of the pride of your city. Your civic pride is typically based around entertainment options, sports, stuff of that nature, public gatherings. What do we have in Jackson legitimately that we can say is something we really hold on to, that we love? Like that we're going to war for that. We got the best of it. I know we got a bunch of great food here, a bunch of locally owned restaurants. We got in Jackson, Mississippi, you can randomly go into any gas station on any corner and probably get the best barbecue you've ever had. Memphis, they're known for their barbecue. They own that. We don't. We barely own the blues stuff, and God knows we created that. The Mississippi Blues Trail is out there. Nowhere in Jackson is it celebrated outside of a little bar on Fair Street. It's just it's sad. It's sad. The lack of options in this town really disappoint me. I see somebody on my Facebook said the St. Patty's Day Parade. St. Patty's Day Parade is great, but it's one day a year. One day a year. We gotta do better than one day a year. We need something that we can hang our civic pride on. And while I'm thinking about that, Jackson is not just the city limits to most of us. It is the Tri-County area. There's this myth that you have to live in Jackson to have an opinion about Jackson. I can love Jackson. I do live in Jackson and work in Jackson, but I'm speaking for a lot of other people that I know that have moved 1 mile down the road and are no longer, quote unquote, in the city limits of Jackson. They still love Jackson. You still got to drive through here. You still do business in Jackson. And so people can have an opinion about their capital city. It's to me, it's different if, say, you live in Pearl and you have strong opinions about Madison. Well, Madison doesn't do anything for your day-to-day life, or vice versa. So we can all love Jackson. Some of us can love it with a front row seat, and some of us can love it from afar. So let's see. Are we answering calls? We got a phone call coming in. Let's see. Caller, you were on the radio.
Yes. How can we bring other races back to Jackson?
Man, that is a great question. As far as bringing other races back to Jackson, I believe it starts with entertainment and safety, of course. People got to feel safe. People can tell you Jackson is safe all day, but does it pass the eyeball test? It's got to pass the eyeball test. The smell test, so to say. If you're only doing one type of entertainment in Jackson, and let's just say it's hip hop, and 90% of the hip hop audience is black, well, that's not going to help draw a different race into town that may not listen to hip hop or feel safe going to a hip hop show. And I can flip that and say, in Rankin County, at the Amphitheater there in Brandon, if all they're doing is booking country acts, I'm guessing that a lot of black folks aren't going to go to Brandon to watch a country act or a classic rock band like Leonard Skinner. If you're not being diverse in your entertainment, you're not going to draw but who you want to draw. I think the festivals, wouldn't it be great to have a Jubilee Jam back? That caller, I'm going to let you go so I can get back to the microphone here, but thank you so much. That is a great, great conversation there. So, let me ask y'all, if you're watching on my Facebook Live, what gets you back into Jackson? Let's just pretend that it's safe. Let's move that part out of it and kind of eliminate the generic answer there. If you felt safe coming into the city, parking your car, knowing it wasn't going to be any problems, what would bring you back into the city? I remember when they played the Egg Bowl here. That they haven't done that in, I know, 20 years, at least. Southern Miss doesn't even come and play here. It's little stuff like that. You got to bring stuff people like. And that goes back to Jackson not really having a venue. The Coliseum, I just don't want to count the Coliseum because that's a one in, one out, right on the interstate. It's owned by the state. You come in, you go. You really don't spend any money in Jackson when you come to a concert in Jackson. I go to Memphis to a concert. It's right downtown on Beale Street. You got the FedEx Forum, or you got where the baseball team plays. They do concerts there too. Man, you park your vehicle and you don't get back in it for the whole weekend. You're spending money in restaurants right there. You just don't have to leave that block. They I remember the outdoor concerts they did at the Coliseum there in the late 2000s, 07, 08, 09, 10, somewhere in there. The Miller Lite Crawfish Bowls. It was all rock. They had rap. Heck, I was on the stage with T-Pain and his Blue Bunny, the guy in the big bunny costume. I got some pictures I'll share on my Facebook later from the side of the stage. That was a great, that concert had Leonard Skinner on one night, and the next night it had T-Pain. That's diversity. That's how you get different people out. Nothing says redneck white people like Leonard Skinner, and I mean that in a nice way, and nothing says inner city like hip hop. So people came out, there weren't no problems. It was a great time. So we need more of that. We got tons of great Mississippi artists. We just need to take advantage of what we've got here in our backyard. It'd be a great time for a big outdoor festival A little bit, if you're worried about the corona, the COVID, outdoor in the summer is going to be a lot healthier. If you believe what the professionals say, that the heat can kill this thing, and obviously it's not indoors, so if it rises, it goes away. I'm not a scientist. Again, it's just the eyeball test. Would you go to an outdoor concert right now? Dee Dee, would you go? I'm speaking to Miss Dee Dee. Can I put you on camera? You want to wave to everybody? That's my lovely producer this morning. Miss Dee Dee ain't scared. She gonna go. She shook my hand when I got here this morning. I'm still shaking hands, kissing babies, warming up for my political run. Man, this is fun. This is fun. This is the first time I've had an opportunity to get on the radio and just talk. Y'all bear with me, my uhs and ahs. I did take a public speaking class, so try to limit that as much as possible. Let's see. I'm reading some of my Facebook here. Miss Corinthian says, I think Visit Jackson Visitors Bureau, and JRA should be held responsible. Man, they don't want me coming down they row, as Napoleon would say, because I got an axe to grind with Visit Jackson, the Convention and Visitors Bureau. And I got in here the other day and I kind of got a little tongue-tied, got a little nervous. But what I was trying to say about them is they only promote one area in town. It's Fondren, the little Fondren, Belhaven downtown district. And everybody thinks I have a problem with those districts. I do not. I love them. Great business owners, great food, beautiful areas. But they do not represent Jackson. They don't. It's where people from Rankin County, Madison County come to play Jackson for the day and say they came to Jackson. And they spell it with the JXN like we do. Jackson is what, Dee Dee? 85, 90% black? Do you know there's not a single black, I know no restaurants, probably any other business in that Fondren area? Not a single one. And all those white liberals over there love to get on here and call me a racist for posting pictures of empty buildings and this, that, and the other. But meanwhile, they live in their little cocoon over there. And, you tell me. I want to know why the same opportunities have not been extended to our local minority business owners in Fondren and Belhaven and these other places. Those are the questions I have. Visit Jackson doesn't do anything except for those areas. And what about E&L? What about Big Apple? What about Capitol Grill down here? I could go on and on. I hate when I start calling local restaurants because I forget about local restaurants. And I got so many friends that do it. But I'm just trying to think of inside the city limits of Jackson. There's so many great food. Like you can get on your Grubhub or Grubhub or Waiter app. And I work over there by the Metro Center. Man, I get the best food in the world that you never heard of. Was it Mama's Dream Kitchen? Oh, man. There's a little gas station in Clinton that's family owned and operated. I forget the name of it off the top of my head. I ain't never had so much food put on my plate in my life. I've gained 50 pounds since all this started, just eating good in the neighborhood. So, hey, speaking of that, man, I want to say something here. Y'all know, and y'all hear me out here. This may be a bit of a stretch. June 1st is 601. Jackson, Mississippi is well known as being the 601. Why haven't we owned that day every year and the 601 day? I don't care what day of the week it's on. It don't matter. Why don't we make that our day that we love we show Jackson that we're here. We show Jackson business owners, or not just Jackson, the whole 601 area. Instead of getting on social media and doing a bad review about a locally owned business or complaining or not saying anything at all, go shop, eat, play, whatever it is you do at a locally owned business in the area. And it could be a national chain that's locally owned. Don't make a mistake. A lot of these McDonald's around here are locally owned. I know we don't like to say that, but they are. They're owned by local people. Chick-fil-A is locally owned. Whatever it is you like to do, I challenge you to go out to these places. If it's a clothing store, your barber, your tanning bed, your nail salons, whatever. Take a picture of that place that day. Put it on social media. Hashtag save the 601 day. Go write a good review for them. Give them a 5-star Google review. Facebook review. Man, those things matter to people who are coming through. Somebody could be at a hotel, never been here before. They're like, man, where's somewhere good to eat? I want something local. And they get on Google and look, and if somewhere's got a 5-star or 4.5, somewhere in there, somewhere between 4 and 5, they're probably going to lean with that. But because somebody had a crappy review and maybe only have 2 reviews, they could have a 3-star. You know, you can hurt your local places with these negative reviews. I challenge everybody to pump the brakes on those negative reviews and try to work it out. If you have a problem, ask for a manager. You know, in the white community, we call them Karen. You know, Karen loves to speak to the manager. So just ask for the manager, express what's going on, and give them an opportunity to fix the problem before you run to one of these real talk groups on Facebook and you pretend that that's the customer service complaint department. Just talk to the business, and if they don't want to work with you, you know, then by all means, you know, use your First Amendment right to go talk about them. But otherwise, I'm just saying, man, give these local businesses a chance. But 601 Day, I think that's something we should own. I see somebody talking about 601 Festival. I mean, look, got to put some money behind it. But this idea, I even started an event on the Save Jackson Facebook page, and that's Save JXN. If you're new to me, if you're only watching this for the first time, at 3 minutes, I feel like I could go all day. Who's next? I got to be at work. But go to the Save Jackson Facebook page. I created an event. It should be at the top of the page. If it's not, it's going to be. And I'm not asking nobody to spend no money with me. It's got nothing to do with me. And just go share it, mark it, and celebrate June 1st in Jackson, Mississippi. I believe by then the gloves should just about all be off on the closures, the lockdowns, the curfews, and everything else. And so the timing couldn't be better. But it's on a Tuesday. But you know what, man, we've been off for 3 months. Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, is there any difference? So get out and support a locally owned business. If you own a local business, get at me on Save Jackson. I promote local businesses for free, as long as it's something that makes sense. And I'm not going to send my people wrong either. You know, I'm not going to promote your online store, none of that stuff. If you got a brick and mortar local business and you offer a great service to the community, I'm not going to charge you. I was a business owner for 15 years, and unfortunately, social media was just really ramping up to what it is now as I was getting out of it. So I didn't have the opportunity. So what I say that to say what I would have done to have had somebody offer me some free advertising. Man, look, I'm here because I love Jackson. And I guess I catch a lot of flack because people are like, man, you show the ugly of Jackson. Well, I don't know if you've ever had a family member that's been an addict or an alcoholic or anything like that. Sometimes you have to show tough love to that family member. And that's what I'm doing with Jackson, is I'm showing tough love to try to get everybody back on the same page and show what's going on. And you start holding these people accountable, and that's Napoleon's favorite word, accountability, holding people accountable. And that's why he's got the platform he does right now, because he gets on here and holds people accountable. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold myself accountable first, but we're going to hold people accountable. We got some big announcements coming up about moving this thing to the radio. So y'all stay tuned. I want to thank Miss Dee, Miss Catherine here at 94.3 on the FM dial in Jackson, Mississippi. Y'all have a blessed day, and thank y'all so much for tuning in. Please share this and let people check it out. How did I sound?
94.3 WPBQ Radio.
Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a blessed day. I'll get back to these comments later and try to answer everybody's questions.